Nice hot day. Welcome. So looking forward to a good competitive match today. We look forward to good sportsmanship, good calls, both sides, and make sure we, at the end of the day, have respect for each other. So looking for a good match. Doing today's, actually I'll tell you the first doubles will be here because it's a little bit of a less regular court. And also it's more likely to lose balls, so that's why I do that. This is first singles, second singles, third singles, first double, second doubles will go in the first available court.
Yep.
All right, and doing our lineup today will be senior captain Tyler Lovell.
All right, for first singles we have sophomore Partha Jamalamandaka.
Doing lineups for Dedham will be our only senior, Rex Esteban.
Yep. For first singles, we have 11th grader Dominic Dwyer.
And for second singles, we have sophomore Juno Joe.
For second singles, we have 9th grader Paulson Manis.
Play well. Have a great match.
For third singles, we have sophomore Jack Leifer.
For third singles, we have 10th grader Derek McGarry.
For first doubles, we have myself and junior Aiden Civittoni.
For first doubles, we have 11th grader Kevin Botchkov and 11th grader Colin Finkel.
Good match, Ben.
Well. For second doubles, we have freshman Trip Everlevel and freshman James Saunier.
For second doubles, we have myself, 12th grader Rex Esteban, and 10th grader Maxwell.
Guys,
That's okay.
We'll have water that you can refill
Have a
with
good match.
as needed. So plenty of water here. We will be the white backgrounds for the scorecards, and you're the yellow.
Okay.
All right, let's bring it in. Let's do a good circle here. All right, so we've been working hard in practice. Had a good match yesterday. Yesterday's match was a good step forward where we were able to win a couple matches, but also get that team feel. We had some good competition at first doubles, and we want to just keep bringing that for the whole team. So the most important objective today is to play.
Hello folks, and welcome to Norwood High School. I'm Joe Panola along with Mark Hoover, and we're bringing you the first action this spring. It's boys tennis, as the tennis team will take on the Marauders of Dedham.
What an absolutely beautiful day here, Joe. I mean, it's toasty. I mean, we're kind
That's
of
for
up
sure.
here with a little bit of a breeze. 88 at match time, so I got to imagine down on those courts it's going to be a little toastier for them. But boy, what a great way to see the way that they kind of start these matches off. I will be the first to admit this is my first Norwood boys tennis match coming out to call one. But it was really kind of neat that, the head coach of the Mustangs has his captain, Tyler Lovell, introduce, who our number one starters are for the singles and the doubles that we'll hear this afternoon. And then the Dedham captain does, the corresponding players for that. The shaking of hands, some great sportsmanship. So really looking forward to calling this today. It's been kind of a, something I've wanted to do. I know that you have talked about it as well, being able to get out here. Jack Tolman and Ron been able to kind of figure out how to get this all set up and get the camera up here, the microphones up here. So we're getting ready for some terrific action today.
Absolutely, yeah, something you don't really see in a whole lot of sports, the way the two teams kind of had that moment before the game, and John Churchill, the boys' head coach, does a nice job almost emceeing it and getting the Dedham team the lay of the land. It's a pretty inexperienced team for both sides. A lot of young players. Norwood only one senior. That's Tyler Lovell, as you mentioned, the captain. And for Dedham, the same thing. Rex Esteban, who we'll see playing second doubles, their lone senior. So these are two young programs that can really use today to make this something to build off of.
Definitely. Obviously, Norwood looking for that first win at 0-4. Dedham, they've only played 2 matches so far this year, coming in at 1-1 this season. So anything can happen. the feature match, as we've already kind of heard about, is going to be here in, I guess, what would technically be court 2 if we're working, right to left on these 4 courts up here at the high school. And so Partha Jamalamaka is here in the near court at court number 2 in the white, and he's taking on Dominic Dwyer. And Joe, you had the chance to talk to both coaches today, and these two guys are fairly familiar with each other.
Oh, that's for sure. They got to play over the summer, one match between the two of them, and they played twice last year. Both of those went 3 sets. Dwyer for Dedham took both of those, but talking to both coaches, you just got the impression that it was just a coin flip both cases, and it could be anybody's game. So these two should be one that should feature a match that should come right down to the wire.
You know what I kind of like about what we're going to be watching here today is we've done swim before, Joe. Golf has been covered. You've got a lot of individual aspects to the game, obviously. 1 versus 1, or in the case off here to court number 1, we've got our first set of doubles getting ready to get warmed up. But it's obviously also a team aspect. The first school here to get the 3 wins, 3 matches will take. The contest today, but you're going to play all 5. You've got 3 singles and 2 sets of doubles, but they're basically their own. It's like golf. They're their own referees, their own umpires. They make the calls in, out, and same thing with golf, right? If a ball is out of bounds or there's a stroke, so there's a whole level of sportsmanship and honesty that goes into these kind of things. It's really kind of refreshing to watch these young players.
Absolutely, and you're seeing these players warm up. Dedham got here actually first, which, talking to Coach Churchill, he was saying that that's very rare that happens. They must have gotten a nice quick ride in, not all that far away, but Dedham was able to get their warm-ups in. Norwood was warming up amongst themselves, and now just kind of a couple volleys between these two. But as you mentioned, Mark, we're seeing Partha play against Dominic right here on this main court. To their left, we'll see the number 2 singles. That is Juno Joe for Norwood, who's coming off a big win. He picked up his first win of the season in Norwood's last match, which was yesterday against Holliston. He takes on Paul Stitmanis for Dedham. Way to our left is 3rd singles. That is Norwood's Jack Weefer taking on Derek McGarry for Dedham. Derek in his first varsity match. And to our right, kind of effectively, I guess, on court 1, if you will, it's the number 1 doubles match. Norwood's captain, Tyler Lovell, along with Aiden Civatoni, as they take on 2 juniors for Dedham, Colin Finkel and Kevin Bojkov.
And I think, as you mentioned, we've also got that second set of doubles that will come on afterwards. And as my understanding is, they pretty much go to the first open court. Right. So whoever finishes first here of these 4 matches, then they will slide in with that second set is James Soliner and Trevor Lovell, both freshmen. I saw that. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. We'll be in the second doubles for Norwood, as I guess they're going to take on Rex Esteban and Max Vo for Dedham.
So Esteban a senior and Vo a sophomore, a junior. So that's a big age gap there, but we hope it should be a good competitive match.
Yep.
So for Norwood, 3 freshmen, I believe overall. 2 freshmen overall. They've got 3 sophomores out there. All 3 of Norwood's singles players today are sophomores, with Jamalama Daka, Joe, and Weefer representing the sophomore group, and their 2 most senior players, Lovell and Civatoni, off to our right playing doubles.
And I think that you'd mentioned kind of, the youth of the Norwood boys program. And like you said, if you've got your 1, 2, 3 singles players all being sophomores, that just certainly bodes well. Give them a couple more years, and by the time they roll around to seniors, they're certainly going to have a lot of experience here on their hands.
That's it, but it goes quick. I was talking to Dedham's coaches a little bit before, Paul O'Connor and Jack Ryder, the coaches there, and Paul was saying that he's been a coach for the past 18 years at Dedham. And I said, it's a young team. It seems like they're going to, have a lot of time to improve. And he said it goes fast, as these coaches know, because they develop such a tight bond with these players.
Yep. Well, and too, even teaching these young, men and women here up at the high school,
Oh, I turn around. Kids
Yeah.
I taught as freshmen or seniors, and they're
right. You're like,
they're
wait.
back taking a different level or a different course.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You're like,
And,
I'm
yeah.
only 2 years older. I don't know how you can possibly be 4 years older. Exactly. I haven't changed. You've gotten older.
That's it. Well, for these schools too, I mean, dealing with COVID, which came about obviously in the spring and canceled the tennis season a couple of years ago, it was, you kind of really had to rebuild almost on the fly. I know Norwood had felt that. 2019 was a very strong year for the program. They almost finished at 500, just missed playoffs, and they've worked to kind of get back to that level. But it's been a very positive culture for the team and really just focused on getting better, which in a more individual-based sport like this, as you see more and more of that improvement, that's really what you're going for.
And again, this is kind of exciting to be kicking off the spring season here. We've got Jack has already started to put together schedules. I've been in the office. He's got the spreadsheet out. He's got the calendar out. He's got everything.
He's got his color coding going
color-coded.
on, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. So hopefully this is just the beginning of many spring sports here for NCM, as we love to do. We're just talking about trying to get the three-man crew back for baseball down there one night with Eric Bodenhofer.
That's right.
I know love to get a girls tennis match here as well, and get everything up here. So, we got the behind us. We can hear some of the track folks getting ready for their season to
lacrosse
kick over.
already after break. We're going to be getting the crew out there. It is a short season though.
Yes.
Spring season here in New England is not a super long one. I was looking at the schedule the other day, and you're really not going that late into May before playoffs start hitting, and obviously school for the underclassmen and the juniors will go all the way till late June. So things will be kind of over before we know it, but we hope to kind of grab whatever we can out of the maybe 5 or 6 home games that I think each of these teams will play.
Well, you got to give sometimes then a tip of the cap to someone like John Longley and his whole crew to be able to all of these different sport teams, the number of matches or games that they have to play, and like you said, in such a shortened season, and then heaven forbid we might get rain or something like that, right? And that's probably you look on a day like today that we're able to get this match in. And having to reschedule, whether it be baseball or softball or anything that the weather can turn on. So
All right.
just pray for a nice spring.
Well, if a day like this is any indication, we are in for a nice season of that. And it looks like we're about to get action going on this main court between Partha Jamallamadaka and his opponent Dominic Dwyer. Dwyer a junior and Partha a sophomore. And you'll see the little scoring system that is on the left side of the net. Norwood is the white markers on there, and Dedham represented by the yellow markers. So if you can make that out on your screen, that'll be how the scoring will be kept. If you're new to tennis, a little bit tricky to understand the scoring system, as it will go 0, which they call love, to 15, to 30, to 40, and then a deuce if need be. But the first serve, a little bit wide, so Partha will have a second opportunity here. And the serve is something from Coach Churchill that he was saying that Partha could have a real strength on. He's got a very strong serve, and if he's hitting it right, that could be a weapon for him. Took a little something off that serve. And you're seeing that one go a little bit out. When you're watching the single matches, you're going to watch the narrower court. The doubles matches will obviously feature the wider court, so Partha just a little off the mark. And so it's 15 love in favor of Dwyer.
Yeah, you can see that power that he comes with that first service.
Yeah, and he gets himself in trouble there, so a double fault for Partha, and so quickly 30 love in favor of Dwyer. And that's something that Coach Churchill was saying as well. Partha's a very strong player, has a great shot, and can really put away a number of opponents. And he's played very well, even just as a sophomore. Last year was 6-10 playing first singles, which is impressive enough. But that serve can get him in trouble, and he's missed 4 out of 5 to start here.
Yeah, and the problem that sets up that his second serve is obviously he's going to, well, he should, I suppose, take a little bit off of it to make sure he gets it in play. You could see he was even trying to take a little off there.
Yep, so it is
Back-to-back
Dwyer
double
who's now
faults
up 40 love. So Dwyer threatening to take the first game here. Two very different styles on this center court. Partha is a player who plays quite aggressively, has a very strong shot, and Coach Churchill was praising the defensive nature that Dwyer has, as he's able to kind of get to everything and keep a lot of volleys alive. So that'll be something to see. Two contrasting styles and two players that should feature a close match.
And if I look here on both sides, it looks like all matches are now underway.
This is the second serve for Partha. He serves that one in, so we'll have a rally here. And maybe spoke a little bit too soon, so Dominic Dwyer will go up one love in the first singles match. We'll take a look a little bit to the right of them as they take a break and get some water on this hot day. This is the first doubles match that's to the right of where Partha and Dominic Dwyer are playing. Norwood has the combination of Tyler Lovell. You see Tyler there in the hat. And in the back there, hitting it just a little bit long, is Aiden Civittoni. Aiden a junior and Tyler a senior. And for Dedham, Colin Finkel and Kevin Bajkov, both juniors, looking to do some work there. A little bit long on that serve there. And the second one goes into the net. So Norwood takes a point there on that first doubles court. But we'll head right back over to first singles. Partha against Dominic Dwyer, our featured match today. Dwyer is now serving. And Mark, a moment ago, I believe Dwyer was able to connect on the first point there.
Nice return there by Partha, though, to even it up. But it does look like Dominic Dwyer here in the near court. He works very fast in terms of if he misses that first serve, he seems to go right to the pocket and serve again.
That one right on the line, a really nice serve from him, and try to take something off of it. So the first lead in the game so far for Partha as he goes up 30-15.
I think the first game over there on, I guess we'll call it court 3 if we're going right to left with Jeannot and Paul. They must have completed the first game because they've also have already switched sides, but they didn't flip the scorecard, so I'm not quite sure on court 3 who won that first one.
Some strong rallies here, though, on our featured court. Partha tried to go cross court on that one, and he was about a foot long. So 30 all here as Dwyer serves. Took a little bit off that one, and Partha ate his Wheaties today and served that one a bit long, or returned it a bit long, excuse me.
Well, there's not much of a breeze, as we know, and like I said, when we got here, boy, it is a little toasty, and we're just standing here. I can't imagine as these things go on.
Yeah, the entire Dedham team is kind of, or it's a larger team. Obviously, not everyone will get out here, as we see Alette there hitting off the net. So it'll be kind of a redo on the first serve for Dwyer. But the entire Dedham team is kind of under the bleachers, seeking out a little bit of shade here. There's not a whole lot to find.
Yep.
Partha has to move in for that one. He tried to go to the back corner there. But Dwyer continuing to have his number early on.
Yeah, nice little drop there by Dwyer. Just took a little bit off of it. Made Partha run. Just wasn't able to get to it.
All right, so that one looks like it'll now head over to Partha's serve, as taking that second game was Dwyer, so he's currently up 2-0 on this featured court.
I'll look over here to the right. Looks like Dedham took game 1 of the doubles over there as they get ready to switch things up.
So we'll get you hopefully some updates soon about the other courts, as a little bit tough to see some of the scoreboards. And obviously not the first thing you're thinking of as a player. They don't quite have the benefit of the U.S. Open with, the electronic scoreboard out there and somebody else doing it for them. And as you mentioned at the Open, Mark, a lot of self-officiating here. So there is a level of sportsmanship that these teams need.
Now, Partha's still having trouble putting that first serve in. And I think, Joe, that had been something you had mentioned. Coach had expressed a little concern about coming into this match. He's got a powerful first serve, but if he's not able to put it into that initial play, then that really puts a little bit of pressure, obviously, on that second one. So we'll see if he can bury this first one here.
So finding himself in a little bit of a tough spot. I believe 30 love in favor of Dwyer right here, as he calls this one a little bit long. Nice second serve from Partha there, and Dwyer hits it out. So sometimes that's all that takes, Mark. You know, opponent making an error that could put you back in it. It's a very mental game as well.
Yeah.
And Coach Churchill, from, you know, seeing him not only in the classroom but also, you know, coaching up some of these players, he's very good about that mental aspect and keeping the players very positive, and going from there. Can't say enough about that. And he's been the coach here now for a number of years. Very proud of the success that this program's had. Great serve there from Partha, and Dwyer returns it a little bit long. So we hear a couple of light claps on that
I'm
one.
going to go that might be.
That is the
go
first
Partha's
game
way
that
on that
Partha
one?
has
Yep.
won. Yep. So the teams will adjust the scorecard here. It should now be, at least from our untrained eye, I believe 2-1 in favor of Dedham.
And yeah, we're looking over here to court 3. So court 3 has confirmed that it's 1-0 Dedham.
Yeah, so this is the match that's featuring for Norwood Juno Joe, a sophomore, against Paul Stittmanis, a freshman for Dedham. So 2 underclassmen here playing second singles. As just a little bit off your camera, Partha and Coach Churchill talking things over, maybe strategizing before they head into this next one. And Joe with a nice return there that kind of backs up Stittmanis, so he'll take that.
You know, it's funny, I mentioned the breeze that wasn't around, and then I look across the way, and all of a sudden it seems to have picked up just as Dwyer was getting ready to serve that.
These games will each be played to, it'll be best of 6 games, but the best out of the 3 sets that'll be played. So if you take 2 sets, you will have automatically clinched the game. And the first one that finished up will give way to second doubles. And we'll see Norwood's combination of James Saulnier and Trevor Lovell playing in that one. So we'll wait for a court to open up for the 2 of them.
Yeah, looking down at court 1, I've not seen them change sides, so I don't know if they're still on their. Either that or they may have and we just missed it, but if they are still on their
could be a
first
very
game,
long deuce, yeah.
exactly.
So that court way off to our left, as we mentioned, Norwood has Jack Weefer playing there. Nice shot that went deep, and winning the point there was Derek McGarry. McGarry, again, as we mentioned, a sophomore in his first varsity match for Dedham.
And
there we
you go. And just like that, that was McGarry's winning point there. So he takes the first game. So 1-0 Dedham on court 4, 1-0 Dedham on court 3, 2-1 as we know here at court 2, and then on the first doubles, Dedham holding on to 1-0.
So Dedham so far doing well, but you know, these are 2 schools that on paper and according to the coaches match up quite well. We'll see if that continues to be the case throughout the day. Norwood fell to Holliston yesterday, a team score of 2 against Holliston's 3, with the wins coming both via the singles courts. Partha was able to defeat Holliston's top single player, and Juno Joe, as we mentioned, was also able to get a victory in that one as well. It's a Norwood team that has gotten better through each of their 4 games. They faced 2 very tough opponents early in the season, playing against Hopkinton and Westwood. They fell 5-0 in both of those matches. Then they lost 4-1 against Medfield, and 3-2 was the score in favor of Holliston in their last match. So 0-4 overall, but the improvement is there, Mark.
I think if you, as a coach and as a player, that's kind of what you're looking at, right? You started you're looking for improvements each and every week, and it's certainly difficult to start off against programs like that. But then, like you said, a lot of the game is mental, and keep yourself focused. And we've seen the improvement there. So they look like they've gone through 3 games here on the doubles. Dedham holding a 2-1 advantage there.
Saw a beautiful serve just moments ago from Partha on this center court, effectively, if you will. And a really nice shot, though, from Dwyer that'll force Partha to play the backhand. Coach Churchill was mentioning the backhand is a real weapon for Partha that he could use. He tends to seemingly favor the forehand shot, but he does have a very strong backhand, and something that coach is looking for him to do a bit more.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, if he can get that, just watching that first serve, and you can see the difference there on the second one, but if he can start to land that first serve, that looks like it would be quite a weapon.
Couple of backhands from Partha in a row there, and he finds some success with that.
Yeah.
So a nice job from
touch.
Norwood sophomore. A Norwood team that did not have a whole lot of success last year with a young program, and now a lot of these players a year older. This one, I believe, a little bit long, but it looks like Dwyer didn't call it out, so we'll continue playing. There's some of that self-officiating. You almost got to make a call on yourself in a split second.
Yep.
Dwyer does put his finger up, indicating that one was a bit long. And so it looks like Dwyer will take the third game here.
Yeah.
It's a 3-1 in favor of Dedham and the junior Dominic Dwyer, who has kind of performed almost like Coach Churchill had kind of predicted. He's been able to cover a really wide range of the court. Has done a nice job kind of getting to everything. He hasn't quite put Partha away with a lot of shots, but a lot of unforced errors from the Norwood end, and that's worked to Dedham's favor at the moment.
Yeah, to be 3-1 and then now having service too is.
There we go. Excuse me,
4-1.
4-1. That's right.
Yep.
Yes, they're gonna. You're only gonna see the score switch every odd amount, as the teams will only alter those little circular score sheets when they cross the net. So after the first game, they will cross, and you'll see an adjustment, and then the third, the fifth, and so on. So that's why it'll only feature odd numbers across there. So a little bit harder for us to get the updates to you on some of the other courts, but at least we know to the right of the center court, which we'll take our eyes over to. It is 2-1 in favor of Dedham, but the Norwood combination of Tyler Lovell, their captain, and Aiden Civittoni, another upperclassman for the Mustangs, hanging tough. I gotta say,
it's funny, we are kind of learning these rules as they go along in terms of when scorecards are being, overturned and whatnot. But just an absolutely, again, I think just to mention, just for these guys to be out on a day like today, absolutely beautiful.
And you got to give credit to some of the other players on the team too. We saw them kind of warming up. There's a lot of players. Norwood with 13 players on their roster, only 7 will feature in the match. So that means that 6 players are here just supporting their teammates, warming them up before the match, and that's part of what it takes to be a team player. So a lot of credit even to Norwood's players that aren't playing today, but that are here cheering everybody on and really watching the match intently and maybe using that to get better as well.
Well, it's to me, it's like any bench player, and you could do this with golf or with any sport, really, is that, those guys that are maybe not in the featured matches today are the ones that are pushing the players that are, right? True. Nothing is a given, and so any week, anybody who's sitting out here can certainly, I'm sure, challenge or kind of push the other players, and it only makes them better, and yeah, you might not get the actual court time for the games and the matches, but you're making those players that are out here on the court for Norwood, you're making them better players.
And so Norwood, it looks like, at least in the 3 games that we've gotten an update recently, has taken a game so far in each of these. In first doubles right now, from what we see, it's 2-1 in favor of the Dedham crew of Bojkov and Finkel. In our featured match here in the center, effectively on court 2, it is 4-1 in favor of Dwyer. In the second singles match, 2-1 in favor of the freshman Paul Stittmanis for Dedham. And it looks like the court on the left is probably not going to be the one that gives way to the second doubles, as they seem to be having a battle down there between Derek McGarry and Jack Weefer.
Yeah, at the rate we're going here with our prime match, these guys might be, well, we hope it goes, well, I hope it only goes 2, because that will be 2 in favor of Norwood. Oh, well, just a little long there.
Here's our score update on the McGarry-Weefer match, and look at that, Norwood is on the board in each of the 4 matches across. So 2-1 in favor of McGarry. Dedham does hold an advantage in all of these contests, but Norwood has been able to chip away and at least take something here in the early going. So we'll return to action on our featured court, 4-1 in favor of Dominic Dwyer. But we'll give you a little bit more about Partha Jamalamadaka, who has been Norwood's top singles player now for the 2nd year running. He was doing that as a freshman, going up against a number of seniors last year. And, you know, a 6-10 record, you might look at that and look away pretty quickly. But 6-10, especially up against seniors as a freshman, against some very quality teams, especially the likes of Westwood, Hopkinton, things like that. Partha seems posed for some pretty big things.
Yeah, he what the TVL All-Star last year.
That's
too,
right.
Which is most impressive. And then, like you said, you add in the fact that he was just a freshman last year. I mean, that's some pressure on a young player. And yeah, when you're taking on the other schools' number ones, especially if they're seniors with that 4 years of experience, it's too bad. Light touch there, just couldn't kind of put it away.
And Partha is 2-2 this year. He won in straight sets yesterday against Holliston, and he won in straight sets against Medfield in the game before that. So I guess on a personal 2-game winning streak for him.
Yeah. And update from Court 1 in the mixed doubles. I'm sorry, mixed doubles. Doubles number 1. Looks like Dedham has extended its leads 4 games to 1 as they look to switch sides there.
So 4-1 in first doubles, 4-1 in first singles. It's been a good start for coaches O'Connor and Ryder for the Dedham team. But again, a lot of this on the players. They do their own officiating. They, show some good sportsmanship, even announce the lineups out to each other, shake hands before the contest. A lot of mustard on that serve from Partha here on our main court. And he puts the second one out. So it kind of seems like double faults have been his Achilles heel so far, Mark. And so they will cross, excuse me, I thought they were about to cross back over. Not quite yet.
Yeah, that second one, I wasn't quite sure. He really, like you mentioned, that first one was just an absolute rocket. Mm-hmm. And then, again, I don't know if it was a momentary lapse of concentration, but the second one, it almost looked as if he kind of, gave up on it. But that was, again, so you get that first serve in there.
And look at the way Dwyer really comes up to the net there. He plays such a good defensive game, putting a lot of these shots very high in the air. But he's making it very difficult for Partha just to put him away here.
Nice little rally going, though.
And he got him there. Just like didn't quite come off the racket the way that Partha wanted. And Dominic Dwyer gets some nice applause from his Dedham coaching staff and teammates.
Yeah, but that was a very nice rally between the two of them. And you saw the difference there when Partha gets that first service in. It's a whole different setup. Just trying to keep Dwyer on his toes there.
It was a great serve. Was it in? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Beautiful ace there.
Yeah, and that, again, that's 2 back-to-back for Partha there. We was able to really knock that first one in. I think it kind of makes, obviously, kind of a big difference. While we do that, I see update over there, and doubles number 1. Dedham took the 5th game, so they now are up 5-1.
And these games are played to 6, although you do have to win 2 to get credit for the match. A hot day like this, tennis can be exhausting. And We even heard Coach Churchill mention that in the little pregame meeting about how there's plenty of water available to both sides. You kind of saw there that Dwyer just kind of put that one up again. So again, he's been giving Partha opportunities to put him away. And it seems like Partha's shot has been getting a little bit more consistent here, although he does hit the first serve into the net. And the second one as well, so another double fault for Partha.
Yeah, that's because I think he had, got himself, as I thought I overheard him say, deuce, so I think it goes, advantage now Dwyer on this, looking to break serve. Over on court 2, it looks like Spitmanis has taken a 4-1 advantage over Joe.
And here Partha will serve the second one in. Oh, a little bit of bad luck on that one, as you kind of see the hand wave go up from Dwyer, almost apologizing for it. If you do that on the serve and it lands in, it's a redo.
Yep.
But this one, kind of keeps things going, and Dwyer will get credit for it as the two will come towards that scoring area. And it's the official update there on that main court, 6-0. I'm sorry, 6-1.
6-1. So Dwyer takes the first one.
So it is Dominic Dwyer. Dwyer won in 3 sets, both times that those two met last year when he was a sophomore and Partha was a freshman. He won over the summer, and he wins handedly in the first game here, putting Partha's back against the wall. So we'll turn our attention to the first doubles match, currently 5-1 in favor of Dedham. Again, this is the group for Dedham of Bojkov and Finkel, facing off against Lovell and Civittoni. Kind of looks marked like
just like that. We may,
we get an update.
We may have gone over just as Dedham takes that first one.
So Dedham will win first doubles, and they win first singles. And so Norwood's hopes of clinging to a victory here, they're going to need a little bit of help here going forward. Pretty convincing wins in both cases for the Dedham team.
Yeah, they came out very strong.
So we'll turn our attention now over to Juno Joe here. He's playing in second singles, working against Paul Stitmanis, a freshman for Dedham. Joe is coming off a victory in his last match as he defeated a player from Holliston. This one went a little bit out off of Joe's racket. But it was Joe's first victory this year, and really helped Norwood because Partha was able to win first singles. Joe was able to win second singles. Unfortunately, the Norwood team almost able to pull it out, not quite. Coach Churchill was telling me in their last game against Holliston he had to do a little bit of mixing and matching as they didn't have one of their first double players. So James Saulnier got called up to the first doubles group there. So you kind of never know where you're going to be needed, who you're going to be playing with sometimes.
Well, again, I think that's what you talk about. Everyone has to be ready, right? I mean, you just don't know when you're going to necessarily get that call. You got to kind of adjust things. As coach kind of moves back and forth here, kind of keep an eye on all 4 matches as they go. When they get breaks, a chance to kind of meet at the fence and maybe discuss strategy, discuss what's working, discuss what's not working, and as they get ready to take on their second set.
Second serve on court 3 from Joe is in, so it looks like we'll get a little bit of a rally going. Back on the back line. Wow, a long arching shot there for Stitmanis. Nice return from Joe. This one will sail long, though.
And, you had mentioned, maybe that week for McGarry matter down there on court 1, that's not going to finish up too soon, as it's now 3-2. So Weaver wins game there to get himself 1 game closer.
Yeah, that quickly is turning into the match to watch here.
Yeah.
As looks like our center court will get back to action. Same thing on court 1 with first doubles. But Weaver and McGarry putting on a show just a little bit out of view of our camera. Nice return there from Stitmanis, who has really played well as a freshman for Dedham. We'll turn our attention back to the center court here as we get ready for Partha Jamalamadaka taking on Dominic Dwyer. Dwyer took the first set here, and if he's able to win this one, he will win the match. A nice serve that just barely cleared the net from Dwyer. Partha has looked very strong, though, here starting off this second set. Now has a chance to put him away. Nice coverage from Dwyer. And a little bit out there.
That's too bad. He had Dwyer on the run. And then just
He was a
couldn't
bit
quite
on his
get
heels.
there.
It seems like Dwyer kind of likes playing very close to the net. And he tends to put up a lot of lob shots, almost just managing to get his racket on anything that Partha serves up.
Interesting watching here. Dwyer couldn't get the ball because all action going on in court 2. He had to wait for that to finish before he could get the tennis ball that had just gone just wide. Meanwhile, Junot and Paul were battling out.
Some really good action here. There's a high arcing start. Partha takes his time, returns it. Tell you, Mark, it looks like both players have come out firing here in the second set. They both look quite strong.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's one of those.
Nice get there. Can he put him away? No, Dwyer continues to get there. Partha giving him all he can handle. This one goes deep, and Partha will call it long.
That was a great point, though.
Two very strong players dueling it out. Partha able to eke out that one here. So you can see why both coaches were saying that this could be a coin flip heading in. Partha can't quite get there.
Done.
Very good placement there from Dominic Dwyer.
Man, they've wrapped up over on court 3 as Stitmanis beat Junot 6-1, so they'll take that first set.
Yeah, trying to do a little bit of listening in. It sounds like Coach Churchill telling Junot that you know, he's just got to play his game, not play into what Stitmanis has given him. And it looks like the on court 1, the first game has been settled, and Norwood is able to take a 1-0 lead there. Saw a little fist pump just to the right side of where Jamalamadaka and Dwyer are playing. A little fist pump from Tyler Lovell, who's excited about that,
Yeah,
as Norwood goes up 1-0. No time limit in these tennis matches,
Nope.
so you're never dead out there. And this Norwood group, their eldest double team of Lovell and Civittoni, do a nice job of starting things off. So we'll keep our attention turned there to that right court as they look ready to start right away here. This is first doubles action. And it looks like Dedham now will have the serve as Coach Reiter is talking things over a bit with Bojkov and Finkel there in the black and red hats. Tyler Lovell, I got to say, Mark, looks maybe the most prepared out of everyone with that that bucket hat that he's got going on there. Yeah, he's got a lot of shade.
That's right. He looked at the weather, he said, ah. I mean, Dwyer's also sporting the hat, too. It looks like a couple of the Dedham guys are.
There we
at least,
go.
you
There we
know,
go.
keep
I
that
gotta
sun out of
say
your eyes.
the bucket hat style that
Yeah, that
Tyler's
is, yep.
rocking on that that first double court has to be my favorite look out there right now.
He's got that, and he's got the shades. I mean,
Maybe that's why it makes him the captain,
That's
right? So the first serve in that one looks like it was a little bit long as Civittoni puts his finger up for that. Here's the second serve. Nice coverage from Aiden, who goes to the back corner and hits it. Lovell almost tried to put it away, but I think he says it just barely nicked his racket.
Yeah.
That was quite close.
yeah. It's got to be a tough, there on the situation with doubles, when to play that, and when to let it go to your partner deep, right? You see it, right there, and I'm sure, Lovell was ready to put it away, and just then probably at the last minute goes, nope, try to pull the racket back.
So it looks like 30 love, in favor of the combination of Bojkov and Finkel here. There's a nice serve to start things off, but a really nice
Wow.
return.
Fantastic.
Hayden Civittoni was ready for that one. And there was not a whole lot Dedham could do but watch on that one. So he and Lovell jumped out to Norwood's first lead so far, as action in the second singles is just getting underway as well.
Dwyer took the first one. So nice to see if Partha could really kind of get something going here, but Dominic Dwyer's kind of had his way so far today.
Yeah, Partha hitting this one long. So, sometimes, tennis is a game about finding your groove.
Yep.
And it seems like Partha is not quite in his just yet, but he can turn it around at any moment.
And whatever coach said to Jeannot about playing his own game here, he has taken the first game in the second set, 1-0.
He seemed to take it in a hurry as well, Mark.
Yeah.
So he came out there,
He
got
didn't
his
waste
business
any
taken
time.
care of, and that pep talk from Coach Churchill seemed to do wonders there. And this one a little bit long there. Partha seemed to have a really good eye on that one, watched it going the whole way through. And now he'll have the serve. Strong serve from Partha. Tries to go cross court, but a little bit long there. And you see him kind of practicing that motion.
He hasn't been missing by much, but
No.
that can get a bit frustrating, especially when you trying to get that first serve in and you're able to do it, and then the unforced error there.
That's a great serve.
Yeah, and I think even Dwyer, you saw him tap his racket on that. I mean, that's Partha's strength right there.
And so Partha will now send the tennis balls back over to Dwyer. So if we're reading that right, it looks like Partha has taken a game there, so 1-1 here on our center court.
Still looking down at far court there.
What a
with,
battle.
Weaver and McGarry. It still says 3-2. I got to believe that. Now I see
think
McGarry
McGarry is heading
towards
on
it,
over
so
there to change
maybe
that
we'll
scoreboard.
get ourselves an update.
Oh, Partha a little bit long on this one on our center court.
That's going to make it 5-2
Yeah, so
for
a couple,
McGarry down there. Yep.
couple of big games for Derek McGarry, the sophomore. But again here, 1-1, as this one, I think, did it tick out? No, and Partha's able to put him away.
Yep.
So a very close call there on that far side. From our vantage point, tough to tell. But Dwyer made the call that it was still in, and Partha was able to come right back the other way with a victory.
Yeah, that was interesting, Joe. I mean, I suppose if I'm watching that, maybe even Partha thinks that that's out, right? But Dwyer plays it, and so another great point there by Partha. But to Partha's credit, that ball's still in play, right? It's easy to kind of go, oh, that must have been out. Dwyer doesn't call it, so you have to be ready for that thing coming back. So
we get an update on the first doubles court just to the right. It looks like at the moment it's 2-1 in favor of the Dedham combo. So 2 big games for Dedham to take there. All of these, with the exception of third singles, are currently in the second set. Dedham took the first set in first singles, first doubles, and second singles. And so the teams will rehydrate a little bit. But right now, Dominic Dwyer continuing to serve to Partha Jamalamadaka. This one a little bit long. And you'll see that finger point up in the air. That's the symbol for long, and Dwyer will throw that up there as well, as Partha just kind of airmailed that one.
yeah, look at learning new things. So when I go play tennis the next time, I know just all I got to do is put the finger up.
That's it. Looks like they're looking for the ball here, as maybe that might have made its way over to that first doubles court.
Yeah, no, I think It's funny because and again, fairly new to calling the sport of tennis. It's high school. I get the sense that the two tennis balls that they're assigned almost to specific courts.
Oh, nice hit
it's
there.
Another hit. Yeah, well placed. And so if it disappears, that's the one that they need to collect.
Well, they're numbered.
Yeah.
So, when you look down at a tennis ball and you see Wilson 1, Wilson 2, it's how the player is able to keep track a little bit of them.
Who's.
I'm sure the neighbors that are right behind us, behind those trees, get a number of them coming into their yard. Yeah. Especially when you get amateurs playing. When I play against Coach Churchill, it will sail into there. We've played a couple times. He is very smart on the court, as you might expect from someone who's been coaching for a while. This one from Partha was just a little bit out. So we'll stick with action here on the center court. 1-1 at the moment. Dwyer still serving. Dwyer won the first set 6-1. Partha is coming off back-to-back straight sets victories against Medfield and against Holliston. But he kind of rolls his head back a little bit there. Looks like Dwyer will take the third game. So it is 2-1, we believe. As Partha adjusts the scores, looks like we finally got our tennis scoring down, right, Mark? 2-1 in favor of Dominic Dwyer there on court 1. So,
yeah, by the time second doubles gets ready to get fired up, we will be well schooled in the ways of high school tennis for sure.
Way off to our left on effectively court 4 is Derek McGarry for Dedham, facing off against Jack Weaver for Norwood. And this was a match that had a lot of back and forth action in the early going, as we see another really good rally here. It is McGarry who is currently up 5-2, and he'll take that one there from Weaver.
And that has been like the marathon.
Yeah, there is no way that second doubles is going on that court. Good first serve there from McGarry. And Weaver serves this one into the net. Now, Coach Churchill was saying that third singles is not necessarily, the third best player on the team. It's going to be a representative player, so it could be different players in different matches. Hence why McGarry is getting his first career varsity start today for Dedham after he did not start in the first two. Dedham is 1-1 coming into today's match. Nice get there from Weaver. And we'll turn our attention back now to the center court. Partha against Dwyer. 2-1 currently in favor of Dominic Dwyer. Partha continuing to try to put him away. This one stays in. Maybe a little bit of help from the wind there from Dwyer.
And then that same wind seemed to work against Partha there on the return.
Hard to get a sense of the wind, at least up here. We've got a really nice vantage point on top of the bleachers. Our NCM crew doing a nice job setting everything up. It's the first NCM tennis game, Mark, or tennis match, excuse me. Yeah. So we're excited to be here kicking off the spring season, and a lot of work for Ron Marshalsea today, going left and right, getting you action on 4 different matches with just a single camera, so kudos to him.
And it looks like down there on the far court, that one is finally wrapped up, where McGarry takes that first set 6-2.
And Partha does a nice job taking that point there. He kind of had Dwyer on his heels. Dwyer thought he was going back to his right side, was somehow able to return it, but eventually hit it out. So that far court will get their break, so Weaver and McGarry will hydrate a bit. As we'll see how Partha's serve is going here. A nice one, but it's returned again by Dwyer, who continues to play very well on that back line. Partha trying to go cross court, but it just ticks out. Again, those narrow lines on the singles courts, and we're looking at the wide lines on the doubles.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dwyer has done a very nice job when Partha has gotten that first serve in, which we've seen has been his primary weapon.
There's a beautiful one.
Yep. Speaking of primary weapons.
I think you might have jinxed Dwyer a little bit there, Mark.
You're welcome, Norwood. But prior to that, if Dwyer's been able to get a racket on it, he's been able to return them quite nicely.
So a deuce right now here on the center court. And again, in a deuce, you've kind of got to win it by 2 effectively, if you will. So even if Partha was able to win this one, it will just be his advantage. Gets a little piece of the net there, but Dwyer's still able to return it. Partha has had him on the back line and hits this one wide, so advantage in favor of Partha at the moment. A little confusion between the two of them.
Yep. Partha thought that might have been the game winner.
Yep.
But that just gives him, like you said, the advantage there. So.
And this is why sometimes it can go on for quite a long time in tennis when you have a deuce. There's, if every other point goes to the other player, then this could go on for ages. So, serving with his advantage, going a little bit wide on the first serve is Partha. Takes a little something off the second to get it in there. Dwyer with a very aggressive play, but Partha will call it long, it looks like. He's taking it.
Yeah, and from our vantage point up here, it did look.
I agree with the call.
Just a
Yes.
tad long. Yeah.
So you can always dial that back if you're watching here on NCM. So it is 2-2 here on the center court. Dwyer for Dedham took the first set, but Partha has played much better in set 2. And currently they're knotted up, but this one he serves a little bit long. Dominic Dwyer, a junior. And Partha Jamalamadaka, a sophomore for Norwood.
Like you said, Joe, the fact that these guys have played each other before, not only last year, but over the course of the summer, you probably start to know a little bit of the other players' tendencies, their strengths, their weaknesses, as it were.
Oh, there's a nice little kind of drop shot there
a little
from Partha.
spin off that. That was pretty. Very pretty.
15 all here on this center court.
And update from
Nice
court.
serve there from Dwyer. He's able to find the back corner.
And update over on court 1. Dedham has taken 3 games to 2. So Norwood, Lovell, and Civittoni
Hanging
standing
tough in
strong on that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that one was just a win for Dwyer, so he is currently up 30-15. Partha tries to get a little spin on that one. Boy, that really hit the ground and kind of caromed the other way. But Dwyer stuck with it nicely. Now he's up 40-15.
Yeah, it really kind of handcuffed him, and then his shot was a thing of beauty. It just kind of dropped at Partha's feet, and there wasn't much that he could do.
So Dwyer trying to win this game on his serve. Serves it just on that back line. Still in here. Partha now coming up very close to the net. Oh, he tried to usher it right to the line. But that is a win in that game for Dominic Dwyer. So it is now 3-2 in favor of Dwyer as we'll turn back over to first doubles action. Tyler Lovell watched that one go a little bit long. 3-2 at least at the moment, as we can see from the scoreboard, in favor of Bajkov and Finkel. That serve a bit long as Civittoni makes the call. And this one just ticks off the net.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot Aiden could do there.
Not much you can do, right? Because it'll change direction on you. It'll change speed. And down on court 1, Jack Weaver takes the first game of the second set, so he's up 1-0.
So we know that we're going to have 5 matches today. Obviously 4 going on right now. And then we'll have that second doubles match game with James Saulnier and Trevor Lovell for Norwood. That'll follow up whichever one finishes first. But each one counts equally. So first singles, third singles, it doesn't matter. So that match down at that end between Weaver and McGarry could come into play in determining who wins this match today.
And just from a camera logistics standpoint, I want to thank them for going a little bit longer, so that way we know for sure, hopefully, of course I probably just jinxed that as well, that second doubles will hopefully be in courts 1, 2, or 3. Makes it easier for Ron so he doesn't have to set everything back up again.
Well, Norwood is hoping that this goes longer because
Right.
Dedham took all of the first sets in the 3 matches, or in all 4, excuse me, that are currently in play.
Yeah, first ones went 6-1, 6-1, 6-1, and 6-2.
So it looks like we had a little bit of confusion on that center court. And we'll turn our attention back there. So court 1 currently 3-2 in favor of Dominic Dwyer. Partha Jamalamadaka with the serve for Norwood. The serves, when they have been in, have been wonderful today. And it's a matter of just avoiding that dreaded double fault. A little bit off the mark on the first one. Looks like we have an update on second singles, as this one has now gone 4-1 in favor of Paul Stitmanis for Dedham. So Stitmanis is on the doorstep of putting away Juno Joes, coming off a victory.
Yeah, see, Coach Churchill again. Joe, you'd mentioned he'd talked to him between the first and second set, and Juno had come out and won the first game, and then it looks like again Stitmanis has taken 4 straight. So Churchill trying to help Juno get back into that mental frame to see if he can't take a game here.
And nice work from Partha there as he's able to take that one and gets a nice little round of applause from his teammate. The Norwood bench conveniently in the shade right in front of this match between Jamalamadaka and Dwyer. 3-2 though, still in favor of Dwyer. Partha's serve is an excellent one that is hit high into the air. Good return that just barely lands in, and Partha hits it into the net.
Yeah, and you can see kind of the body language there on that. It's one of those that it was hit so high in the air that Partha had so much time to kind of wait for it. It hits.
Brain starts
and,
thinking, doesn't it?
Almost thinking too much, right? You have too much time to watch.
And a little bit of a break there as Dwyer's return goes out of bounds. So Partha will take that one after that unforced error just a moment ago.
And then, what is kind of interesting, so Partha's got to wait here is their one ball is drifted all the way down past court 1, but they had just finished up their game there, and we'll see. Got here should be.
Interesting that Norwood does this. I know Norwood, due to, I guess, court conditions, they have first singles playing here on what we've been calling kind of court 2, our center court today. But usually that game would be expected to be played on the right. But right now, that has been a barn burner in first doubles, 4-3 in favor of Dedham. As Partha serves this one a little bit long on our center court. That duo of Lovell and Civittoni there over to our right. They have been holding strong here. Seems like every time we see a score update, it's one for Dedham, one for Norwood.
Yeah, it's been very consistent.
But if
very
Dedham
consistent.
is able to take both of these next 2 games, they will take the second set and therefore the match. Oh, nice play at the net there as you see Lovell kind of pump his shoulders in. He was in a very good position on that one, but ultimately unable to put him away. So now 15-love in favor of Dedham. Serve lands just barely in. And Dedham hits into the net, so some nice work there.
By Tyler. One thing, too, that's kind of interesting to watch doubles is the communication between, your teammate. You have to kind of know exactly where each other is at all times, anticipate where you're going to move on the court.
Nice backhand there from Civittoni, but I think he said it was out. I believe so. So if we're seeing this right, no scoreboard at the moment. I believe it is 30-15 in favor of Norwood here on this first court. Nice serve from Dedham. And Lovell hits this one. Looks like he was trying to hit the back corner, but the Dedham player threw his racket up there, and a little bit of frustration from Dedham there.
Yeah. I mean, then to slam the ball like that, because then it, again, there is that
good short memory as he
yeah,
serves this
right.
one
Yeah,
in.
you need to kind of.
Lovell playing very aggressively at the net right now. Civittoni covers him well. Now Aiden from the back line, who seems to like that backhand.
Yeah.
And some great work there.
Yeah,
As Norwood will make it 4-4 here in this first doubles match. So, Mark, maybe we stick with this doubles match for a little bit. It seems to be quite competitive at the moment.
Well, again, the couple shots there back to back by Tyler just really kind of handcuffed the Dedham player playing up. Just really was nothing he could do, and that squares it away at 4-4. So.
Well, not really the way you want to start it at 4-4 as Lovell serves into the net on his first, but he's got a second opportunity, and he makes a count. Civittoni near the net, hits it out of bounds. And again, these are some experienced players on both sides. 2 juniors for Dedham and a senior and a junior for Norwood. But then again, that being said, it's not that you're getting to play every single game when you're on the team.
Yep.
Norwood's got 6 players just kind of sitting out, hoping to push the players that are on the court. There's a nice serve from Lovell. Aiden plays it, and a chance for Dedham to put it away. Oh, that's took a weird hop.
That was very strange. I was expecting that to, one of those you kind of slam it, and it's going to ricochet up in the air, and it just literally died on the court.
Yep.
And Civittoni did a nice job of being able to react to it.
Yeah, the way he kind of almost defended himself against that one.
Yeah.
So Lovell now with a nice serve. Takes it on the back line. That ball kind of eats him up a little bit. You hear some of the communication that's going on. I know it's a little bit tough to kind of capture on the mics here, but you hear Lovell, the senior, kind of from the back line calling it's mine, in certain cases. Doing a nice job of working with his partner, and this one snuck up on Aiden pretty quickly. So just like that, Norwood had made it 4-4, but now it is 5-4 in favor of Dedham in this first doubles match.
And I think we've had our first completion today as Paul Stitmanis took 2 sets over Jeannot Zhou, 6-1, 6-1.
So we'll turn our attention back to center court now as Partha watches this one land in.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot over the head of Jamalama Daka. Dwyer is able to land it. So Paul Stitmanis winning this one, I believe 6-1, 6-1.
Yep.
As he takes the victory for Dedham. Nice serve there from Partha. But again, Dwyer has answered his serves at every turn. Now Partha taking a little bit off of this one. So does Dwyer. Will this one go long? It will.
It does.
And again, not by long.
No.
Not by much, excuse me.
That certainly makes this first doubles here, pretty important, for the Mustangs anyway. To try to see if they can push this a little bit. They don't want to give up, another match. Yeah,
Norwood just hoping things go longer. So second doubles is now out there as they will warm up a bit. Just to the left of our camera at the moment. That is the combination of Trevor Lovell, a freshman, and James Saulnier, another freshman, as they will be taking on 2 upperclassmen for Dedham in Max Vo, a junior, and Rex Esteban, a senior. But in the meantime, as those two warm up, we've got our first singles match in which Partha Jamalamadaka trying to climb back in this. It is 4-3 right now in favor of Dominic Dwyer, but it was Dwyer who took the first set. So if Partha is going to force a decisive third set, he's going to have to get hot in a hurry here. Beautiful serve, had a little bit of extra mustard on that one. Goes cross court, and it went long. Just a couple inches,
not by
Mark.
much. Yeah, I'm looking down there, and boy, that was not by much.
Partha's serve has looked better as this match has gone along. Had a lot of heat on the last one. This one does as well, and it almost eats up Dwyer, but another nice return from the junior for Dedham. This one barely grazes the net. Trying to get some English on it as Partha. Now he moves in. Oh, try to kind of change his mind at the last second. It looks like he was going to try to go cross court. Kept it towards the line, and I think that last minute change of mindset kind of forced him to hit it into the net.
Yeah.
Dwyer now with a strong serve, as he is now up 5-3, looking to close this one on out. But that one eats him up.
Yeah, boy, he's been playing a lot, deeper, and on that he had a really nice first serve, and I think he thought I would try to see if he can't put this one away by attacking the net real quick.
So it's love 15, Partha with the advantage at the moment. To the back line. Oh, it stays in. Almost a miss hit there. It sounded strange coming off the racket, but Partha serves it long. Showing that you don't need excessive power to win some points here.
Nope, I think once you get that volley going.
15 love here on the center court as Dwyer serves this one out. Second one is returned nicely by Partha, but Dwyer didn't have to move all that much. Now Partha tries to get him going to his left. Now back to his right. Oh, he's calling it, throws his finger up. One of the things about self-reffing is I think we heard Dominic there saying, I think that might have been out. I agree with him from
I agree.
From this vantage point.
Yep.
So 30-15 in favor of Dwyer. Hard enough to worry about, your play on the court, not above all else trying to make the calls too.
That's right.
Oh, Partha tried to put it up for him, and Dwyer just got in a nice spot. Gives a little fist pump there as he gets the cross-court winner. So it is now 40-15, and if I'm seeing this right, Mark, I think this is match point. This one goes long, and the two will shake hands there in the center of the court. Dominic Dwyer has done it as he wins in straight sets. 6-1, 6-3 over Partha Jamalamadaka. Well-played match as the two kind of talk things over. Definitely some friendly foes, and they will be playing again at Dedham's tennis courts. But in the meantime, let's head on over to first doubles, just to our right, where that match is still going. Nice serve made in Civittoni. And this one, I thought it might have nabbed the top of the net and knocked over, but seems to go Dedham's way. And if we're seeing that right, Mark, I think that might be the end of that one as well. And it is indeed. And so based on the scoring that we're seeing right now, that must mean that Dedham has taken first singles and first doubles now. So the combination of Kevin Boskov and Colin Finkel.
Oh, 6.
No, 6-5. Norwood did get one in there, so
all right, there you go.
We called it maybe a little bit prematurely, so we'll keep things going here.
Feel almost like it's an election, right? You can't be calling things too soon.
That's right. This is not Florida. So 6-5 in favor of Dedham at the moment, and Dedham will be the one serving. So Norwood in a tough spot here, but if they're able to win it, then that will force a decisive final set. You have to win by 2, but the first 7 will take it. That one had a little power on it, but nowhere near the square of the court. Now he takes something off of it. Nice return from Civittoni and finding the hole there. Oh, I thought Lovell might have put him away.
I tell you,
Dedham player.
Lovell's got him
Yep.
running back and forth.
That can take a lot out of you
Yes,
very quickly.
exactly.
So Norwood up 15 love at the moment. Now we'll see what Lovell is able to do on the back line. So you got to trust your partner in doubles too, as
Yep.
they're serving basically right over your head.
Don't flinch. And he didn't.
And a beautiful serve there
That's a
from the Dedham
terrific
player.
serve. Terrific serve. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what they needed.
Oh, in a big spot.
Yeah. Yep.
So 15 all now. Not sure if this is Finkel or Bojkov for Dedham, but he certainly has some power on the serve. This is another good one. Civittoni returns it, hits the back line, so this one is still in play. Aiden's done a really nice job getting to some difficult ones, and Lovell puts it away.
The old
Finds the hole.
hit them where they ain't. Just absolutely froze the Dedham up front player and just found that little seam. And
So Norwood
15
is up
serving
now.
30.
15 serving 30, yep. And this one, ooh, talk about a miss hit there.
That one's kind of an easy one to put the finger up. That's just a little bit wide.
So I get the second go round, and this one goes out as well. So a critical double fault there for Dedham. And now Norwood, with Dedham serving 15-40, has a chance to knot things up at 6. So we've certainly gotten some great entertainment here from the duo of Lovell and Civittoni, the two elder statesmen on this Norwood starting group.
And well done for them. They lost the first one 6-1. And so to battle here.
This one just a little bit long, so now it'll be 30-40. And a very important point here. If
Without
Dedham
question,
takes it,
yeah.
we will see a deuce. And then you got to kind of win 2 in a row to put him away. But a big chance for Norwood. Lovell on the return. And Dedham hits it long. So it will be 6-6.
And Norwood has climbed back up in this one.
So 6-6. We now go to tiebreak, and Mark Norwood has the serve in the
There
tiebreak.
you go. Look at that.
So just like that, we're at 6-6 as Civittoni and one of the Dedham players will talk things over.
Or maybe or do they do the...
And we'll check our little cheat sheet. Coach Churchill was nice enough to give us a little bit of the rundown of what's going on. So all we know that 6-6, we're going to play a tiebreaker here as the Dedham team at least will hydrate a little bit. And yeah, I think Lovell wants some as well. So while those two teams hydrate, we'll turn our attention over to the left side. It is a battle mark on court 4 right now in terms of third singles. I tell you, these must be some long volleys. We haven't been able to watch these ones as closely, but 3-2 right now in favor of Dedham after it easily went the longest of the first sets in all of these.
Yeah, it's been a battle down there. I mean, they're only, partway through their second set.
So for
Meanwhile-
Norwood, Jack Weefer, a sophomore, with the serve right now. Nice serve from Jack. Into the middle of the court, and this one looks like it goes long, and Weefer puts his finger up, indicating so.
What's interesting is we're starting to watch here too is we can almost see our shadows as we're kind of heading in towards one of the courts there. So that sun is going to start to could possibly play a little bit of havoc there, especially if you're on the far court looking back into the sun as it sets here behind us.
For sure. So it looks like we're about ready to go here in the decisive tiebreak down on court 1. This one could be big for Norwood. It is 6-6, and Norwood senior captain Tyler Lovell will be the one with the serve. It's a good serve from Kyler to kick things off. Nice return from Dedham, and that kind of eats up their back row player. Lovell doing it all there, and it's very quickly 15 love.
Oh, so that's right. Yeah, so on a tiebreaker, they alternate serves, right? Yeah.
So Dedham now will have the serve. 15 love, and they should be serving from the left side, at least from their perspective. They are. So Civittoni will be tasked with the return here. He has to play it again. A bit of a lob shot. Dedham with an opportunity from the back row. This one goes a mile into the air. Aiden now continuing to push this Dedham team back, and it goes long. Good read from Aiden.
Yeah. It's one of those where that's just like a last-second decision, right? You're trying to watch it, and do I play it? Do I not play it? And I think we saw that happen a couple of times, with Dwyer when he played it in our feature match, was because you're just not sure, So you have to make that last-second decision, and
So
Dwyer
this one
on a
into
couple
the net.
chances did there. So
Yeah, so it's interesting how you're going to see kind of the service order as Norwood is up 30-15. We saw Lovell with the first serve, and then back-to-back serves for Dedham.
right.
So now Civittoni kind of serving as the anchor here. Fourth serve of the bunch. Puts this one on deep. Lovell near the net. Oh, it ate him up. Yep.
Yeah, it's like one of those. And I think he knew it too. Is right. It kind of handcuffs him, right?
Yep.
And it just dipped underneath.
Almost like when you're playing baseball and you have to decide between fielding something on a fly and
Yep,
on the
you take that
ground,
one
and
hopper.
you can't pick both.
Nope.
But Dedham now has taken the last two off of the serves from
3-2.
Civittoni and from Lovell.
Yeah.
So now it should be 40-30 in favor of Dedham, with a chance to put Norwood away here in this tiebreaker. There's a good serve. Lovell into the back, and he gets it. Oh, the Dedham player. I thought he was going to take a spill there, Mark. And
Well, it was one. I think he might have thought that maybe his partner up front was going to, and then was going to move for it, because he seemed to get a late break on the ball.
in the meantime, we've got a couple of the sub-varsity players, not currently in any of the featured matches, just kind of warming up against each other. So nice to see, some other players getting their opportunity to face some competition.
And then a quick update down there from the far court. I see we've had a score update as McGarry now is up 5-2 over Weaver. So that one's a big one down there too.
Oh, Civittoni with that corner shot really kind of backed up the Dedham player, but the backhand doesn't go, and it's going to be Dedham that takes it. So a very nice play. Civittoni kind of backed up the Dedham player onto the far right corner, but Dedham was able to return it, and the backhand from Aiden didn't quite go. And we'll continue going here in the tie break with now Lovell's serve. Into the net, doesn't go. Oh, nice play at the net. Kevin Bojkov seems to have a lot of power when he's able to hit this.
That's got to be so tempting, though, as a player, when you've got that and you know that you can put this away. And it's, on the other hand, as the Norwood player, that has to be such a defenseless feeling.
He can go anywhere on the court.
Exactly. And you're just like frozen.
So Lovell serves that one into the net. The second one is good, though. Bojkov backs him into the corner this time, trying to get it over Civittoni. This one real high in the air. And it goes long. So a good battle between these guys as they get a round of applause there. And then I think, Mark, the players don't quite know if that's it or not.
Right. Well, the coaches seem to know that it's not it. So.
So they'll continue going here. So 6-3, and I'm going off old tennis memory. Then maybe we get to 8.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that one, but we'll maybe each player gets the chance to serve at least twice. Norwood's able to get that one though.
So it makes it 6-4. We
So
do have a
6-4.
final down from court 3 where McGarry, I guess, was able to hold off and take care of Weaver. I think that was a 6-3.
Yeah, credit to Derek McGarry there.
yeah.
First varsity
Yeah.
win and his first varsity attempt at a win. Jack Weaver played him tough today.
Certainly played him long.
That's for sure. He got his workout
Yeah.
today. A well-earned bottle of water for Jack Weaver as he'll hydrate on the Norwood bench. Shade's starting to creep in, though, for some of these players as the varsity players who had played earlier have stuck around a bit to cheer on their teammates.
And I think the with that right there, Dedham takes the first doubles, so they win that 7-6 in the tiebreaker. So, but a great job though there
Yeah.
by Lovell and Civitoni, I mean, especially going down early, 6-1 in that first set, and then to take those guys into extra play there.
So it'll officially be a Dedham win today, as Dedham has won all 4 of the matches that started today's. They've won first singles, second singles, third singles, and first doubles. So wins for the Dedham team for Dominic Dwyer, Paul Stitmanis, Derek McGarry, and the team of Colin Finkel and Kevin Bodchkov. But in the meantime, on court 3, and thankfully for us here at NCM, so Ron Marshall, he doesn't have to go all the way to the left, we still have some tennis. So we hope you're sticking with us as we have second doubles. This is James Saulnier and Trevor Lovell for Norwood. And the match that you're seeing to the right is not officially counting towards the varsity score, but these players still getting an opportunity as a nice shot from one of the Dedham players eats up Maheen Hossein there. Nice to see the Norwood crew still getting some action and still willing to play on this hot day.
Yeah.
So 2 freshmen for Norwood battling against 2 Dedham upperclassmen. Talk about fighting a little bit above your weight class there, but it looks like the combination of Saulnier and Lovell holding their own. That was a really nice serve. Dedham returns it in a beautiful spot. Great play, kind of sneaking up to the net there.
Yeah, but you know, again, for 2 freshmen, you know, just to get some playing time, it can only improve your game, right? It's just one of those. The more, it's like anything else, whether it be golf strokes or shooting free throws, whatever it might be, the chance you have to kind of work on your game.
So currently 3-0 in favor of Dedham, but I believe that Dedham has taken another one, so it looks like it is 4-0 now. As things start to quiet down here on the side. The track practices behind us have wrapped on up,
Yeah.
but there is still some tennis to play.
It has actually been an awful lot of fun to be up here to watch these young athletes. Again, my tennis ability is non-existent. would be pretty generously, but just it's a fantastic sport to play, and it's one of those it's the kind of sport that these guys can play now and in their 30s and in their 50s, and continuing on. It's a lifetime sport, so.
And just honestly being able to keep a rally half the time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice hustle there from Norwood as they're almost able to get to it.
Yeah, and I think now that you've got some open courts, maybe you can get some of the Dedham guys that sat for part of the day will get out and.
It's nice built-in advantage, I guess, to only having the 4 courts here. Is you might as well get a little bit of tennis action.
Without question.
Yep. Coach Churchill has seemed to be surveying the landscape and seeing who he's going to pair up with whom here. A bit like the tennis maestro today as he's coordinating where everyone's going.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're Dedham, they've got a free court down there, a court 4, and so a couple of their guys jumped on to play a little bit.
So in the meantime, though, on the court that we're watching right now, this is second doubles, so the last varsity match that's concluding, and Norwood's last chance to take a point here and take a match from Dedham. But it is not going Norwood's way so far, as the team of Saulnier and Trevor Lovell find themselves down 5-0. And each set is played to 6. So a big opportunity here for Rex Esteban and Max Vaux to put away the team of Saulnier and Lovell. And this one goes a little bit out of bounds. Good start for Norwood. Remember, with the doubles court, we're looking at the wider line. So if you've been used to watching some of the singles matches, you're going to have a little bit of a wider perspective here with the double courts.
A little bit more room for error.
And a room for a beautiful shot like that. Dedham was able to kind of eat up one of Norwood's players. As it looks like Norwood will continue to work. Juno Joe is going back out there to play an exhibition match now.
And again, the more time you can do it, why not,
That's it.
right? Yep.
A lot of credit to Juno, who played a full match, a tough match as he fell in straight sets, but he's getting right back out there. And it looks like him and a teammate will play against some of the Dedham players.
Give everybody a chance to kind of get a little tennis going, continue to work on the game.
Well, we're trying to sneak in one game at least here. Oh, some nice net play there.
Yeah, great cross.
Dedham seems to be doing a nice job of covering the net when Norwood's able to put a lob shot up there. And it's been their bread and butter so far.
In something like this, again, it's probably a little tough, again, as a freshman. You find yourself down 5-0 already in the first set. But, continue to work on little things and not get yourself discouraged.
Right. Right, you're playing some good competition.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking about that with Partha last year. He played against I believe it was maybe a total of 6 seniors last year as a freshman. And, you get different perspectives, different types of players to play against.
Yeah, it's a great learning experience for these two young guys here on court 3. And Dedham takes that first one 6-love. So
the teams will hydrate a little bit, and looks like they're almost getting right back at it.
Again, there is a whole thing about when you switch sides and when you don't switch sides, and my tennis is limited to Wimbledon, the U.S. Open from time to time, and I still haven't been able to figure out why they are now changing sides and why they are not changing sides, and why
odd
you now
numbers.
get to,
odd numbers. That's the
Odd
key.
numbers.
So it looks like the teams
1,
should
3,
not
and
be
5.
switching
There we
sides right
go.
here. Nice return from Norwood.
Oh, beauty.
But Max Esteban puts him away. Rex Esteban, combine their two names. So again, it was 6-0 for Dedham in the first one. Norwood, Mark, was able to take a game in every one of their first 4 matches today.
Yeah. And again, I really want to have to tip the cap to Lovell and Civittoni to battle back as well as they did there in that second set. When it looked like after the first one, because everything across the board went 6-1, 6-1. I think with the exception of that Jack Weafer's first match, which was 6-2, but across the board everything was 6-1, and things looked a little difficult. And Lovell and Civittoni.
Yeah, and they did not
Hung
play
Bang.
together yesterday
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Holliston. So, we had Saulnier, who's right now on the second doubles court, and a freshman was tasked with playing with Lovell in the last match. So, nice to see Tyler and Aiden playing well together and really kind of extending that game down to the wire.
Yeah, and you never know. Again, maybe you start to find matchups that kind of work. You can mix things up a little bit, as it were, to find that combination where players, feel comfortable with each other. It's such a tough sport because it can be really a matter of inches that you've got it set up nice and neat, and then next thing you know, it's you're going just wide, or you just miss it. It's just again, you talked about that mental aspect where you've got to kind of let that go and be ready, for the next shot, for the next serve, for the next return, whatever it might be.
Just like we saw there as Max Vo kind of lapsed that one off a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right near the net, he put himself in great position. But just, didn't come off the racket quite right, and you got to shake it off quickly, and it looks like he did. And playing out there with a smile on his face. Nice return from Norwood there. Esteban had a really nice cross-court shot. Dedham will ultimately take it.
That was a nice shot, though. Right down the middle, and there really wasn't a lot that could be done. They take the first game of the second set here, winning the first one 6-0.
So immediately 1-0 in favor of Dedham. They've won seven games in a row, looking to take the second set here.
And we know that Dedham will pick up technically the win here, the first 1 to 3 matches, and they were able to get that, having won the first 4.
Yeah, but if you're Norwood, you're looking at the bright spots today, and you're looking at the fact that, as we mentioned, that first doubles team almost able to claim something there, and Jack Weefer, credit to him.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, some valuable experience for these freshmen for Norwood. The combination of Lovell and Saulnier.
Yeah, this can only, again, only help their game. Boy, he didn't miss that one by much. Again, kind of like that late call of it being out.
Yeah, it's hard to almost judge in a moment, and you got to call it very confidently.
Right.
And we even saw that in first singles today, as Dwyer made a call that he said was, we even heard him up here, I think it's out.
Yep. It's one of those that kind of call is, you're going to have that go both ways, right? There's clearly going to be times when, your opponent calls it real quick, and there's going to be times that you call it real quick. So I think everything will generally probably balance itself out as these matches go along.
And a bit of a long serve on that one, so a double fault for Norwood. The Mustangs have missed 3 serves now in a row, trying to right the ship. That looks like a 4th. So a bit of frustration setting in for the combination of Lovell and Saulnier. As they'll switch over, looks like nice cover there. And it goes out.
Nice reaction, though, on the Dedham player, though.
This Dedham team seems to do a really nice job of working with each other. And you have to be comfortable playing both of those spots, being able to, play at the net and then play in the back row.
Yeah.
We saw Lovell and Civittoni doing that a while ago in the first doubles match. Oh, nice return from Dedham. They needed every little bit of that reach. And we had a rally going there, it looked like, for a quick moment.
Got caught up in the wind and kind of just kept going.
So, no rest for the weary. His second doubles, they are just continuing to work out there.
Raring to go.
Did not have a very long break between the first and the second set. And Coach Churchill watching very intently for Norwood. As the teams will get some water here.
We don't know much here, again, obviously, what's going on right in front of us, but if score is indicative, it looks like Dedham again on these, I guess you'd call them the sub-varsity, as it were, the guys that just didn't have a chance to have any match play today. Probably just kind of, looked at each other and said, you want to go? You want to play? Sure. Off they go.
Tell you, the player on the left wearing the hat for Dedham has had some really good power on his serve. Seen it a couple times. He's had trouble placing it, but the power is there for certain. And again, like you were saying, Mark, earlier, these other players certainly could push. You never know. The next match, you might be seeing them playing one of the varsity games. It's not necessarily that there has to be a lot of fanfare to kind of call them up.
Beautiful
nice
drop
spot
shot.
there.
Yeah, back over here on this doubles number 2.
And this is where also some deep teams can really come in handy. Only 13 players in the Norwood roster. Dedham seems relatively small as well, but you go to some of these schools, if you have a lot of players available to you, then you've got some really good practice and really good competition out there. Norwood able to take that one.
Handcuffed him there in the back line. It's like, again, it was one of those who was heading deep, and you're just not quite sure where to put your body there to make the return. Dedham doing a nice job of getting their first serves in here.
Yeah, I saw that little bit of hesitation for Norwood near the net. Wasn't quite sure who was going to take it. And it's that fine line about being aggressive and getting it and trusting your teammate in that back row, but something they'll develop over time. Now, I don't know how often Mark Norwood does this, but I have to imagine that some of these players will switch from playing doubles to playing singles.
Probably, yeah.
And that's got to be an adjustment as well.
Sure, yeah. I mean, obviously the size of the court changes, as we've mentioned, but yeah, I mean, there is, when you're playing the doubles, you have that one perspective of being consistently, closer to the net, and you have to play that differently.
Yeah, if you do that in singles, you're really asking for it, right?
Right. Yep.
You saw Dwyer doing a nice job of it. In fact, in his match against Jamala Madaka, I think that was his strength, kind of playing towards the net. And, those were the only times he really seemed to have Parth on his heels.
Yeah, Dwyer did a nice job. I mean, Partha's first serves, I think he had a little trouble trying to land those first serves. But even when he did, I think for the most part, Dwyer was able to return them effectively. So when you take that advantage away from a player, and you saw obviously the final result was, I don't want to say it was easy, but Dwyer walks away with a 6-1, 6-3.
Well, Norwood will hope to salvage something here, but they're going to need a bit of a comeback. 2-0, I believe, at the moment, even though it says 1-0 officially on the scorecard, but we'll get the
Although if
updated results.
Are they changing sides?
It's 3-0 now.
It's odd, so I've learned. They should be changing sides.
So odd
Look at
numbers
me.
we switch. There we go. Hope you're learning something new. If you're watching us at home. Always nice to get a nice relaxing tennis match on, although not relaxing for the players who are moving back and forth and really working hard out there in this hot sun today.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, well, we'd mentioned, I think, game time temperature. When I got in the car this afternoon just to pop up here, it looked like it registered 90. Now maybe because it'd been sitting in the sun for a little bit, but it was clearly in the high 80s.
On my phone, so a distinct possibility in certain pockets. I mean, 88 to 90 degrees in April.
Yeah.
I mean,
so much for spring, right? We were talking about spring sports. What?
That's right. Talking about the summer season, right? And this is, would this have gone with fall 2 back during the COVID? I know we had that strange fall 2 that was kind of thrown in there for a little bit.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Which tennis, I forget which category that was under.
Where they fell.
That was the year that everything kind of was thrown a little bit topsy-turvy. Everybody's playing in the masks.
With the masks and
hand sanitizer as you came off and on the courts.
There were no throw-ins. You couldn't head the soccer balls. What was the other ones that were always kind of fun?
Soccer was one of the strangest.
Soccer was very strange. Yep. And then, the one I always liked was for basketball, the free throws. That
Oh, that's right.
Nobody could be there, right? So everyone had to back off the lane.
Mhm.
It was almost like they were shooting technicals.
Yep.
And the gym, clearly there was nobody in the gym, so it was a technical for every boy. It was
you could hear every word they were
strange
saying.
time. Yep.
But then they
Yep.
would bring in the cavalry and bring in everybody to
Yeah.
for the second free throw shot. So you got quite a different perspective
Very,
there.
very interesting time.
But NCM was there
Yep.
covering not only the varsity through that, but we had some sub-varsity. When I was coaching freshman volleyball, I was glad to see you and Eric getting behind the mics on that.
That one will
it's-
start on our calendar.
There we go.
We were not going to miss that one.
But this spring,
Yeah.
every team kind of getting their due. At least we hope here on NCM. Swimming was a hit for us during the winter. We were talking earlier. Some of the most fun that we've had doing games was over at Blue Hills
Oh,
at
gosh,
their pool over there.
Yep. You talk about, and I probably get a sense that a lot of these tennis players are a lot like the swim team guys and gals that you talk to, in that, there were a number of times during swim meets, you'd get an occasional swimmer that would come over and want to talk to you, and they would just talk about, obviously the event itself and the competition is a lot of fun, but the team aspect to swim, I would suspect, is a lot like tennis. There's that individual aspect to it, but there's such a team mentality that goes with it as well. And I would guess you'd get a lot of those same type of reactions from not only our boys team, but I'm sure the girls team as well.
Yeah, the swimmers were breaking records out there, and you'd call them over, and they say, "Yeah, well, this team did this."
Yes,
And
exactly.
they were very
Yep.
quick to
Yep.
divert the attention, very
No
humble
doubt.
with it.
Oh, yeah.
I think when I was doing the meet against Westwood, Michael Flynn broke a school record, and we almost didn't even know it. You would talk to him, and he had no idea even at first. He was just trying to improve in his last time,
Yep.
PR, things like that. And,
Yep.
and meanwhile, he's a Norwood record holder.
Yeah. That and win the next pasta dinner. That
That's
was their
right.
big thing too, right? So it was just so
Every
refreshing
sport
to
can
talk
use
about
that, right?
No doubt.
Spring sports in full swing as the teams are practicing behind us a bit on the nice new track and field we have. Well, that one snuck in.
Yeah.
Nice work
Yeah.
from Norwood there. They kind of
off the
ate
net.
up Vo a little bit.
Mhm. I
So
think
this
Dedham
combination, who also didn't play together in the last match against Holliston, as Saulnier was called on up to first doubles. Now he drops back down, showing some pretty good flexibility.
So I think that should be.
That would be.
Is it going to be 5? I can't tell if they're changing again.
Yeah, the teams will get a little bit of hydration now.
Yep. But I think that's going to be 5-0 to Dedham. So
And the teams will switch sides. So there's the whole odd number
there you
between the
go.
score thing.
See? I tell you, by the time we get together to do the girls' tennis match, whenever that might be, I'm going to be like right on top
That's
of
it.
the scoring system.
And a lot is on the players, too. They have to say the score before
Yep.
every serve. And a lot of it is, just kind of old school ways that have stayed. The scoring system, when you think about it, 15, 30,
Yeah.
15, 30, 40. When I first was learning that scoring system as a math person, I'm thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Does somebody not know how to add?
Somebody somewhere long ago thought it was just kind of maybe, hey, let's try this and let's see if people will fall for it.
Now, I heard
And
a
they did.
story that it was in order to confuse people, that it was done to keep it as a certain group that could play, maybe more upper crust society type thing. And I'm not sure about the validity of that. Don't go quoting me on it, although here I am saying it on air. But that was the thing I've heard. Maybe we got to ask the coaches
Well,
afterwards where
That's
where the
probably
heck
why
that
I
came
never
from.
played, because again, if they were like trying to keep
See, it's
it,
intimidating, right?
Exactly. I go, I'm too confused on
Either-
this. I don't know when to change sides.
Either way, it's a good story, I
Yeah.
guess.
Go with it.
But still action on all 4 courts here as the sun starts dipping lower in the sky and our shadows seem to come more onto the courts.
Yeah, we could almost kind of start to wave on court 2, but I hope it would not want to distract anybody.
That's right. Tell you, this We got some action to our right side just between two Dedham players that are kind of warming up. I looked over and I saw the 6-6 scoreboard that was left over from the Lovell Civittoni against Bozkov and Finkel match. And I thought, wow, these two are playing a barn burner here. But in the meantime, Norwood is just trying to kind of salvage one game here. Dedham took the first set 6-0. And that a tough one that was just kind of out of reach of the player who was playing up for the Mustangs. And it looks like that will do it.
I guess that's going to do it, yep.
They will shake hands. So straight sets victory 6-0, 6-0 for the combination of Max Vo and Rex Esteban as they defeat the freshman combo for Norwood. Some good fight from James Saulnier and Trevor Lovell. So as some of our exhibition games wrap up a little bit, Mark, a fun day today, and thanks to our NCM crew, Ron Marshalsea doing a little extra work today, moving that camera left and right the whole time. Did a really nice job in NCM's first coverage of a tennis match. Jack Tolman getting us some shots from down on the court and some updates from a little bit lower down.
I think the biggest thing that Jack was really kind of thrilled was with the microphone placement.
That's right.
Getting it up here on the chain link fence.
Yeah, maybe you guys can get a view of this.
Exactly. This is all
Look
Jack's
at this ingenuity.
handyman work here to make things a lot easier. But wow, what a pleasure! This was you couldn't have picked a nicer day for it. Obviously, not the result that the Mustangs were hoping for, but just beautiful to be up here, and it just works so well. I was so glad that you wanted to do this.
Absolutely.
You wanted to do this, and Jack was just kind of, and Ron were psyched to put it together. So it worked out perfectly, absolutely perfectly today.
Coach Churchill was ready to go. He
Yep.
was, he was very excited. Shared with us a lot about the team, and it's really nice to see some different athletes getting a chance to show us what they've got.
Definitely, they have so many sports up here at the high school. It's great to be able to showcase just about all of them. Yeah, enjoy doing it.
So a 5-0 victory for Dedham today as they win all of the singles and doubles matches, but Norwood able to take games from them in a couple different spots. Probably the highlight of the day, Civittoni and Lovell going right up to the end, a tiebreaker, but they ultimately fall in first doubles. We hope you enjoyed watching today, and we'll check us out for some future games. Thanks again to Ron Marshalsea and Jack Tolman, and for the rest of the NCM crew, we'll see you at another sport sometime soon.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.